Friends with differences.
Friends with differences.
Friends with differences.
Friends with differences.
Welcome back to the Friends with Differences podcast. Kevin Hearthstone, thank you for coming on. Really a fun episode. Yeah.
Thank you for having me, dude. This was a blast. No, we cover a wide spectrum of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a wider perspective after talking. All right, just for the people, we brought up, we got a bunch of shows going on, the comedy scene. What else did we get to talk about?
So the open mic Mondays at Mucky Duck. We talked about
your different shows. You got the 2 Dice.
Yeah, I got 2 Dice Dare.
We talked about a lot about like manifesting and religion.
Manifesting, gratitude, building the comedy scene, supporting each other, believing in each other, and always growing, learning and growing. That is why we are here, to continue growing.
Is this becoming a self-help podcast? It just might be. Well, thank you again for coming on.
Cool.
And enjoy the episode.
Friends with differences.
Friends with differences. Friends with differences.
Bang! Welcome back to the Friends with Differences podcast. Kevin, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Evan. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, for the people, we have known each other, I think, a couple months now.
Where is your... Okay, this is your camera?
Main camera's the far one.
Okay.
With the cardboard. Very high standards here.
Oh, very fancy.
Yeah.
Very fancy.
Yeah, I mean, we could show you off with the main cam, for the second camera over here.
Hello, world. Kevin Hearthstone here.
But yeah, we met each other through comedy. I think at Crackers was the first time we met.
Yeah, so first time we met, you were, and I'm still pretty new, but I think I only did like 5 open mics at that point. I was like a week or 2 in. And,
yeah, I think it was my second
It was
show.
interesting because, I think it was Sean that told me, is like, the best spot at an open mic is the third to last. And I don't know how true that is, or if everybody does it that way. And you were third to last that night. I was like, oh, okay, this guy's probably going to be pretty good. And you dude, you killed. It was that night that you had like 100 people there.
So that was probably my second time going up at Crackers. So I didn't do like the open mic scene until after I did a couple of clubs open mics. I did Helium for the first time, and that went pretty well. And I didn't invite anybody. I didn't know I was going up that time. It was really impromptu. And then went decently well. All the strangers seemed to laugh. So then I got booked on Crackers. And I had my first show, I had like 10 people come out to see me. And then we met the second time. It was like a month later. So I'd been doing comedy about a month at that point. A little over a month, maybe. It was my third show ever. My third time on the mic. And I think there was like 25 people there.
Yeah. They were all, because like they were all on one side of the room. And Lisa made that joke. She's like, glad everybody came out for one person. It's very obvious. Like,
yeah, Lisa likes to call it out too if she like
funny,
notices.
She's really funny. We're messaging today.
Nice.
I guess she's in Colombia right now.
I was going to say she's on tour. She has like an international tour going on.
Yep. She's killing it. She's killing it. She's out there. Lisa Bosman.
Yeah,
Check her out. She's very funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's gonna actually host Muckety Mondays. She was gonna do March 3rd, but she had to hit me up and say that she didn't be back in town in time. So.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Speaking of which, when are you gonna host at my open mic?
I'm down to. Yeah, we'll just get a date together on Monday.
All right. So February 23rd.
I'm out of town.
24th.
Out of town.
Oh yeah. You want to tell them about?
We got travel.
We got some shit going on. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah. No, all good as long as you're not incriminating. I generally don't care. We don't have too many hard rules around here at the podcast. Pretty much anything's on limits.
Cool. So, tell them about our little road trip we're about to take.
Yeah, we're going to Nashville to do a show and see the one, the only,
the legend
of the game,
Mr. Jolly, David Jolly.
Yeah, David Jolly. We're actually seeing him a couple of times.
Yeah.
We both got the pleasure of meeting him. You actually had the pleasure of opening for him.
Yeah.
Not only David Jolly, but Cam Patterson.
Yeah,
opened for.
that was a lot of fun.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It was
I got
cool.
to see the show. That was fun. It was a fun show.
So, I was kind of like... And I'm glad I came up with the idea, but like the whole day I was like, God, like... Because the night, there was somebody went to the show and I noticed on social media that he was doing a meet and greet. I was like, okay, so I'm going to get to actually talk to him because I was going to see him the next night. I was like, all right, what am I going to say? How can I, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a brief window.
And so, Jolly was out selling merch, well, like setting up the merch table before the show. I didn't even know who he was at first. But once I saw him do his set, looked him up, I was like, wow, this dude is
legit.
Yeah, no, he's... Yeah.
I do.
I mean, anybody that does Kill Tony, knows that I don't really have time for a lot of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. I have a list on my notes app of, like, comedians I need to watch.
Yeah.
It's growing quicker than it's shrinking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, being in it for a few months, it seems like every day I'm like, oh, who is this? Like, oh,
Dude, I was hitting up. I messaged Ruby Setnick to try to come on the podcast because she opened up for Duncan Trussell, and she was super
the
fun.
girl we saw, okay.
Yeah,
Did she respond?
No, not but,
cool.
You know, I tried.
She's funny.
She was
dude.
super funny.
Alright, so I will say this, and I guess I didn't, and anybody's watching, so the reason I opened up for Cam Patterson was because at the meet and greet, I bet him that if I could make him laugh, I'd get to open up for him sometime. Actually, the bet was he has to follow me on Instagram.
Oh, really?
And Cam, you still have not followed me. David Jolly did, though, and his manager did.
Cam, come on. A bet's a bet, bro.
What the fuck, Cam?
Come on, dude. No, you were cool. We were cool, right? You remember me, I'm sure.
I did. So I told him a joke, and it wasn't really like his style of comedy. I don't even know if he really laughed, but I feel like he was like more just like impressed with me just taking a shot. The reason I'm saying that is like you were saying, about Ruby, is it?
Ruby,
yeah. Like, why not try? You know, like, I mean, I know it's not the way things usually go, but there's no hurt in trying. And if somebody says no, like, I mean, you're not losing anything. You know what I mean? You only have something to gain. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And
that's your shot.
Yeah.
I respect you a lot for your just general ambition. It seems like you're constantly like pushing.
Yeah, well, I've been so my parents were teachers, and so we weren't. I mean, like we had a good. I had a great childhood. You know, traveled on our vacations, and my parents took care. They probably took I think they gave me too much, honestly.
Yeah. I'm privileged exceptionally.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's what I guess to go off track a little bit. I think, and I'm not a parent, but I think the worst thing, just from my own experience, worst thing you can do for your child is make their life easy. You know, and I'm not saying,
So
you know,
like
put
the
them
white
through
guilt or something?
hell, but, you know, okay, the best example, I was supposed to graduate from Southport High School, put Mr. Chu in a headlock.
Oof.
So we came to a mutual agreement that I would
Chu
no longer go to
spit 'em
school
out.
there anymore. So I graduated from Perry Meridian. And
Nice.
that's just the tip of the iceberg. You know, I mean, I was always getting arrested, always getting caught with drugs, or you know, just all kind. I mean, like I could go on for days with the stories, but I guess my point is, so I didn't realize there were consequences because my parents always got me the best attorney, always got me out of trouble. Until finally, I got myself in so much trouble, there was no attorney that could get me out of jail. And you know what I mean? And I had to sit there. And I wish I would have learned that lesson. And I don't blame them, you know. But I wish I would have learned that lesson a little sooner. But I mean, I was a tough kid to raise. I know that. I put my family through a lot. I mean, they're very accepting and cool. And I mean, I'm just myself all the time. You know what I mean? Like, But like
yeah,
for
being
instance,
yourself all the time is
Yeah.
definitely the what to strive for. I think a lot
Yeah.
of people struggle living life to their fullest or what they see themselves as.
yeah,
I feel like the whole world is at like a identity crisis point, just with how like I don't know, social media makes people feel. People are like trying to see what niche they fit into,
yeah,
rather than like I don't know, just finding their own path, essentially.
yeah. Well, authenticity is so. I get actually. This kind of goes back to what you're saying. You know, you respect my ambition, and it is so. My parents, you know, I mean, we weren't rich, but I had a friend my senior year of high school, Tony, and his dad was fucking loaded. I mean, like money I never, and I mean, like I've had way more money in the past than he probably did. I don't think he ever had as much as I did at one point, but but like this was like a new world to me. You know what I mean? So I was like, it sucked me in. You know what I mean? I was like, this is what I want. Like, I want all the cool stuff and the big house, and so I always did sales.
Oh yeah.
I tried college a couple times, but I was just really gifted at sales. And so I always made more money, even if I was working a job, not working for myself, than any of my friends that went to college. I mean, for the most part. I remember
it's a great skill. I mean, it translates to so much too.
Yeah, and dude, I should write a book about sales. And I'm not like, you know, like I'm not saying I have a big head about it. I have done it a long time, and I've learned a lot, and I can teach anyone how to be a great salesman.
Yeah, and I think like you can already like see its impacts elsewhere too, like not just financially, but like the sales like spine that you have is definitely what like opened the door to the conversation with Cam to let you open for him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
That's all the same muscle you're exercising.
Yep. It's networking, man, and it's so there's two things. I have two pillars of success. So I did not make this one up. I forget where I read it, but and how is it said? The amount of success I probably have my notes. The amount of success you'll have is determined on your ability to perfect words. And it is so true. If you can talk to people, if you can be interesting or make someone, even better, make someone else feel like they're interesting. And I'm not saying like fool anybody, but,
Dude, I don't know. Okay, so this is reminding me of, I went to college, I went to Cincinnati. Sorry, I'm wearing a Cubs jersey. It's a cool sweatshirt, okay? But love Cincinnati. And I remember freshman year, like probably first week, maybe first or second week, I remember going, Nipper is the stadium and it's in the middle of campus and you can just like chill on the football field or go in the stands. And I went in the stands and I was like writing in like a journal about like how it's just, I have to get over how much I avoid words and reading. Like I literally wrote, I have to make friends with words because there's just, I mean, it's a medium you have to be.
No, being articulate is a huge benefit. Like, I mean, like, it will influence your life in every way. I mean, for everything from dating to business to friends to family, if you know how to articulate yourself well and
like how you present yourself too.
Yeah.
The combination of like, it's not just what you're saying, but it's also the inflection and like, I don't know, I'm a middle child and I feel like the middle child stereotypically is like the mediator archetype. And I've always been fairly solid at like easing tensions or getting the situation to feel less tense. And so that comes into help with work, with like business deals and with comedy, just getting people on the same page. Like comedy is just a way of like bringing people together and bridging gaps.
Well, the second pillar that I was talking about, so perfecting words, articulation, and making friends. And making friends, that's networking. That's, I mean, if you can, so never. I probably text 100 people a day. I mean, like, legit, and I legitimately are interested in these people's lives. You know what I mean? Like, not saying they might text, some might text me, I might text them, but, I talk to a lot of people because I never go to a new place. I never go to a new place I've never been and leave without a new friend. Ever. Yeah. If you go to a bar with me, I will walk up to particularly all the hot chicks, but I will, for sure. I will just walk up. There's a lot of people think I'm gay because they think I hit on men. But I'm genuinely interested in people and getting to know people and socialize. Like, we are social animals, and that's like a big thing in Stoicism, which I was telling you a little bit about. Weren't we talking about that the other day?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
But
somebody else. So
the idea.
Was
it Marcus Aurelius?
I just read some of his book today, Meditations.
Oh, yeah. Nice. I love that. I don't know, a little background for people who don't know anything about Stoicism. It's kind of the idea about...
It's an ancient Greek philosophy.
About, like, how you can't, control people's reactions.
That's exact... Actually, that's a really good way to define it, because Stoicism has a really bad rap in modern day.
Oh,
because
I'm sure
everybody thinks that, that means you don't care about anything. No, it means you don't care about what people think of you. Look, I'm not everybody's flavor. I'm not. I have a lot of people that don't respond to me, that don't, it is what it is. Like, I could give a shit what people think about me. I mean, if you don't like me, don't be my friend. I've got more than enough. You know what I mean? But if you do, be my friend, there's that holds a lot of people back in life, is worrying about what others think. Should I, ask this girl, well, what if she says no? Fuck, or should I fucking go talk to that, or should I apply for that job, or what if, what's the worst that's going to happen? Yeah. They're going to say no.
That's such
a lot. You're going to hear no a lot in your life, like, no matter what. So you might as well just accept it and take every shot you can get. Take every shot you can take. I mean, that's just what I do. That's how I live my life.
I agree. I encourage shooters for sure. You gotta shoot your shot or nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was gonna mention, I feel like Stoics kind of can get linked in with misogynist or something, which is a totally different breed. But I don't know. That's probably a mute point. Something about shooting your shot is that, like, I know you to be a fairly big manifestation kind of person.
Yeah,
which
I do.
I love. I agree with that kind of mentality.
Yep.
Have you always been that way?
No, actually. So have you ever heard of Joe Dispenza?
I don't think so.
So, you and everyone that's listening, check out Joe Dispenza. I am going to be going to his retreat. I think it's in Florida. But I read his book, and I was in meditation. Before that, I had gotten into Buddhism, more Zen. And I loved it a lot. Okay, so it's a lot of people know this about me. I'm bipolar, and I do have an issue with mood level. You know, I'm either like way up or way down. And one thing that has helped me is meditation. And then it just kind of all came together at one time when I was interested in finding out about, you know, what there is outside of us and our reality. And so Joe Dispenza talks a lot about his book. I mean, he has several books, but I can't remember what it's called. I wish I could. I could look it up in a second.
We could ask Alexa.
Alexa, what's Joe Dispenza's first book called?
From Speechify.com. Joe Dispenza's first book was Evolve Your Brain, The Science of Changing Your Mind. By the way, you have a new notification. Do you want to hear it?
No!
I don't know if that's the one I actually read. It did say, it was something about like change, like be you, like it's the title is something about like you can't like change yourself, like you can be a new person, something like that. And it is true, like people, like you, we do have the ability to change. I've been many types of people, and I am many things, and nobody is one thing. And that's one thing that particularly bothers me with like people these days, especially like politically, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. It's not the only thing you are, you know. I still respect you. I'll still have a conversation. You can try and convince me of whatever, you know. But you're not, you know what I mean? Like,
not reduce
but there's no
reason. Identity.
Yeah, there's no reason to disrespect people and be mean, because it gets us nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, and you're not going to change their mind, and they're not going to change your mind. But what's wrong with talking things out and?
Yeah, that's why I started this podcast, is just because, like, I have good buddies who, like, were opinionated in such different directions, but we still are, like, great friends and, like, debate these topics a lot. Mm-hmm. And I think it's worthwhile to show people that, like, you can be such on conflicting sides and still come to a place where you can discuss it civilly and, like, get along with each other. Just because we disagree. And you
can still look like, okay, you can learn. You can always learn something from someone. I don't know everything. You don't know everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've changed a lot politically, personality wise, and I'm still changing. I mean, that's how we grow. You know what I mean? And that's it. I mean, the second you stop growing in life, that's the end of your life. Like, you should always strive for growth. But anyways, yeah.
If you become stagnant, that's when you wither and die.
Well, actually,
time's just us evolving.
I actually have my ex-wife to thank for this. So I used to be really successful in business, and I mean, I am successful in business, but not like I was. Anymore right now yet. Again, I lost a lot of
ups and flows.
I lost a lot of things a few years back, but just taking too many risks in business. But I was at a place where we had a nice place. I drove a nice car. I had my own company. All these people worked for me, making all this money. We're traveling the world. I mean, our lives were awesome. I mean, they were. And I remember she asked me one day, she's like, what are you doing to grow? And I was like, and I'm so glad she asked me that, because it changed me for the rest of my life. Because my answer was like, grow.
Yeah,
like,
we made it.
I'm done growing. Like, I'm at the peak. Like, I don't have to grow. Like, I'm just I'm just sitting back, and like, it really, really upset her. And like, we thought about it for like a week, and it took, I was stubborn, but she really opened my mind about, continuous growth and always striving to be better.
To plateau is being comfortable is kind of the death of progress, I struggle with that a lot, especially it seems like in Indiana. I used to live in New York, and that's much more of like a fast paced, and it just naturally brings you to that pace because you have to be at that pace to survive, and keep up with everybody. But in Indiana, shit moves slow sometimes, and from the way people walk to like how fast business happens, and that can be very frustrating. But you gotta, do what you can and not have things grind to a halt. That's when things die.
Yeah, well, I think I don't think it has to be. So it should never be like a pain or like a pain. It doesn't take effort.
Right.
You're going to put effort into it, but the best growth comes from suffering. I look back at the hardest things in my life: divorce, losing multi-million-dollar business, prison. Those three things are the three things I am most grateful for happened to me in my life.
Yeah.
Because I learned from them and I grew from them.
I've had hard times, but it feels so unjust to say it's just not parallel. I don't know. I feel like am I exactly where I want to be in life? Hell no.
Yeah. Well, life's a journey. There's never a destination. And if there's one thing, you should know that it should never be a thing or a place. So, me and my sister, I'm bipolar. My sister's a therapist. And we're writing a book. Yeah, we're writing a book on mental health.
How convenient.
Exactly. So we're writing a book on mental health. It's called I Am. And it's about finding a self-identity that you cannot lose. Basically, she does this exercise called I Am, where they define themselves, and then she talks about how they're not these things. You're not a business owner. You're not a husband. You are, I am. That's actually a full sentence. There's a period after that's the title of it. I am. You just are. Just be you and accept you. But things like
your name is an oversimplification of you.
Yes. And things like I am empathetic. I am grateful. I am kind. I'm annoying. I'm fucking dude. I know I'm annoying. I annoy the shit. Me and Tyson Cox did one of my channels last weekend at Monkey Duck, and I literally could not even stand myself when I was editing. I was like, oh my god, dude, I was so fucking manic.
Dude, I struggled with that. I think I've gotten better with the podcast, but the first couple episodes, multiple episodes, probably the first season from what I call it, I'm like, stop interrupting people. Oh my god.
That's a big problem of mine.
It's
too.
not about you, Evan.
Yeah.
As I interrupt you.
No, I think we just did it to each other. So I agree 100%, and it goes back to we're here to learn, we're here to grow. I think a big part of that is recognizing yourself. Realize I do a lot of self-reflection, man. And I want to be better, so I try to ask myself, okay, what can we do? And I come up with things to grow. So this summer, like I said, I'm bipolar. I'll show you this. I went through a really bad depression. Probably the worst depression I've ever had. Depression episode I've ever had in my life. It was a rough one.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
And then
I had a shitty summer too. So
a lot happened. I went deaf in my right ear.
Fuck you, 2024.
Hey, we're off to a good start this year.
In 2025, we're at it.
Yes. But so I started doing this thing, and it's called my daily must-dos.
Okay.
So I chose 6 things that I must do every day. And obviously, most people, we should all shower every day.
Ice bath,
but
UV meditation. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
is an ice bath in there?
Well, no, but meditation.
Yeah. Meditation's good.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think I went like probably a couple weeks without a shower. That was so, like, dude, I didn't get up. Like, it was just a miserable depression.
Yeah.
So I put shower, make my bed, meditate, exercise, read 30 minutes or more, and write. And right now, I'm writing that book and I'm writing a couple of screenplays, and I'm not saying like I'm like this fucking great writer. Like, I don't know if they'll, but I do it because I enjoy it. It is a passion of mine. I do love it.
And those are like such like basic but so like healthy habits.
Yeah.
To really like ground anybody.
So you can. I started this in November. And so if you add so I track every 30 days. If you add all 6 up, your max could be 180. So the first 30 days I did 107. Second 30 days I did 122. My goal is to monthly do 150 or higher than 150. So that's what I'm trying to get at every 30 days. And I'm on track to probably be about 150. I don't know what it's at now. I'm not going to count right now, but... and then I started tracking like my 6-dayers, I call them. It's like how many days I do all 6 in one day.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So I did it 9 times last month. I'm already at 6 times this month, and we're like halfway through.
Nice.
So yeah, progress. Yeah. And if I have a slump month, I'm not gonna beat myself. Like, that's one thing that I think people could learn from too. Is like, don't beat yourself up.
Yeah, I'm my biggest critic for sure.
Yeah, you can be your biggest critic, but be kind to yourself.
Oh no, my internal dialogue's an asshole.
Yeah, no,
it's not
see,
good.
that's
it's probably the worst in the morning, where I'm bitching at myself for not going to sleep earlier the night before. I'm just mad at last night's Evan. Just all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. But then wake up, get to the grind, and things are good.
Yeah.
But shit. I try not to say I'm tired, because I feel like it's such a... I don't know. I feel like it's speeding up death. If you're talking about how you're tired all the time, you're just inviting death. I don't know why, but it just feels like you don't want to live. So I avoid trying to talk about how tired I am at any point. I don't know. My New Year's resolution is to keep my car clean. My room's absolute fucking mess. Last year, my New Year's resolution was to make my bed every day, and that didn't work.
Yeah, that's one thing. So my ex-wife trained me really well.
Nice.
And so I'm my next wife. She's getting the gem. She trained me to not leave my clothes on the floor, to make the bed every day, and that's actually always the highest.
Yeah, when I lived with my ex, I used to be a much more complete adult. Now I'm, I don't know. Like, I live at home, which I don't respect myself for. I really gotta get out of that.
Dude, who fucking cares, dude?
I know, but I hate
Stop caring about that. Stop. Dude, the only... okay, I could probably tell you a lot more benefits than you could tell me negatives to it. Do you pay rent?
No.
Do you buy the food?
Not most of the time.
Do you cook the food?
Very rarely.
Do you do your laundry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I do my laundry.
My mom does my laundry.
I hardly ever... I'm so bad at, cooking. Yeah. That's why probably Man, if I could change two things about myself, no, if I could change anything about myself, it would be my diet for sure. Because I don't prioritize food at all, and then I eat like shit.
Yeah, that is. I'm thinking of adding that to my daily do something, both diet, because that does. I mean, it is a game changer and a life changer. But I mean, I'll be 37 next Monday, and I just moved back from Charleston, South Carolina last year.
Wait, this Monday?
Did I say Monday, Wednesday?
Wednesday, okay. Because I think this is gonna come out Monday.
Yeah. So nice.
Everybody go wish Kevin a happy birthday. Links in the description.
Thank you. So I moved back from Charleston, South Carolina last year, and one thing, I mean, I think like the first 8 years, because I moved to Columbus, Ohio, got in logistics, and life just progressed really fast. I started a company with a guy, and then I sold that, started another company.
Nice.
And
that's awesome.
And so, but I was like, I moved every year for 8 years, and I was like, I went from like these 3 roommates to like a nice, cool penthouse on my own. You know what I mean? Not like not.
But a nice ass apartment.
But yeah. So I didn't want to move back and live in a multifamily. I've done that. I'm not saying I'm better than it. It's just, dude. Well, first of all, they don't have. I mean, my mom does my freaking laundry. I don't have to shop for the food. I pay nothing. So all my money goes to doing the stuff I love to do, traveling the world. Like I'm going to Europe in a couple months. I'm going to music festival in Florida next month. We're going, you know what I mean?
Yesterday, we were highly considering, me and Mason, just buying tickets to New York either this weekend or next weekend. We almost pulled the trigger. We think we're going to go in April now.
Wait, where did you say? New York?
New York, yeah.
Dude, I'm definitely down to go.
Yeah.
Because I want to go there and go to some open mics.
Yeah.
Dude, if you, legitimately, I mean, I'm not trying to invite myself, but if I can go, dude, I'm down. If you're cool,
I'm down.
100% will. There's a guy in New York that I met at Crackers, actually.
Nice.
And he's a comic that lives in New York. I'm going to have to look up his. Pat something. Pat Johnson at @the_Pat_Johnson. This dude is freaking hilarious, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, so funny, and he lives in New York, so he'll hook us up with all the open mics and where to go, and I'm 100% down. Dude.
Yeah, I love New York. There's a chance I could crash at a old buddy's place because I still got friends that live in New York. But yeah, just going out, hitting mics for the weekend, that would be lit.
Yes.
One thing I noticed, we've been going to comedy shows. There was, Kat C. I went and saw her this week, and she had Darren Finesilver hosted an open for great show. Darren did very well. I'm trying to get him on the podcast.
Darren, who you competed against in the Two Dice Dare.
Two Dice. We'll put that link in the description too.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I like Darren. Darren's a funny ass dude.
Yeah, so he opened up, and then there were 2 other openers, and they were both from Indiana, moved to LA, started doing comedy, and traveled with Cat C to Indiana to do the show. Which, great call by Cat C, because those 2 had a bunch of connections, aka family and friends that came out to the show, so I helped fill up seats. And it was both their first times performing back in Indiana. Mm-hmm. And they were, I'd say, compared to most comics I see in Indiana, much more loose and faster. Like, literally talked faster, hit more punchlines because they talk faster. That is one thing I've taken note of, is I really do like my pace, but it's geared for The slow Indiana audience. I said it. Boom. We're fat. Okay. We're off. But I feel like just Indiana, like even the comics are slow.
Yeah. Okay. No, I haven't noticed that. But I do like that you mentioned that though. Like, so that's one thing I'm really trying to work on now is like delivery.
Yeah.
And trying to kind of figure out who I mean, I'm always going to be myself on set. Like, I think that's what the best comedians are. They're themselves. You know what I mean?
For sure. I've been trying to do the same.
And I don't like want to. I'm not like a bragger, but I do like So I wish more comics would put more work into the craft, not just winging it. Watching their stuff, thinking how they could get better. Like, I read a book. I've took 2 joke writing courses. Like, and I will say this. Once you understand joke structure, it will change everything. I mean, I get laughs on every one of my jokes everywhere I go. I was in open, and I hate to sound like I'm bragging, but it's not deliberate. Like, it's not that I'm up there. It's just I understand writing because I tried to master the craft by using experts' knowledge. So I was in Dayton, Ohio at an open mic.
Brickies?
And Brickies.
Nice.
And the owner
of Brickies in April 11th.
Yeah, we're going
we'll be at Brickies.
April 11th, me and him. Brickies in Miamisburg, Ohio. So I had went. So this is what stopped me taking notes up on stage, because this is like the 3rd time I had gone over my time, because I kept not seeing the light. And so I'm up there. I'm looking at the notes. I guess they were up there. Literally, the club owner came up and pulled me off of stage. I want to know, 2 minutes over.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Dude,
and I remember thinking, I was like, dude, where's the light? But I never saw the light at Crackers either. But it's because I was always paying attention to my notes. I didn't. So now I have my sets ready. I know them. And I know my jokes, but...
Yeah.
But I guess to my point is, he was like, it's okay. You know, how long you been doing this? A year? It's like 2 months. You know what I mean? And it's not that I was good. It's that my jokes were good. And it's not that I'm great. Literally anybody can do that. If you understand joke structure, anybody could do this.
Yeah, I believe that. What was I gonna say? I don't know. I definitely try to just do my time and then get off. And at open mics, it could get annoying if people go over. Like last weekend, there was a comic. No, it was Wednesday, and they did probably 15, 20 minutes, and it was oh my, it was too much. It was too much, and I get it. A big set coming up, you want to like practice.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you were next too, right?
Yeah.
That is annoying.
Yeah. So maybe that's probably also
but I mean, like,
into it as I was like ready to go.
And then, you know, look, I'm gonna piss you off at some point in our friendship. You're gonna piss me off at some point in our friendship. We're all gonna get annoyed by it. But like, you know, you never know what someone is going through in that moment. You have no idea what their life history, their life story is, their experiences. So, you know, hold your judgment, and I'm not saying that you're judging him, but I'm just using that as to make a point. Like,
I think we need.
I think the comics need to tolerate each other more, and it's
I
very.
have a problem throwing shade. I guess maybe probably. I don't want to bullshit anybody. You know, like if somebody's set isn't good, do we have a responsibility to tell them? Or do we applaud them?
Yeah, I've been pretty bad at that. I do usually tell people good set, and a lot of times I'm like, so I have this. It's getting
They're not always good.
Well, no, and there's a lot. Yeah, no, I don't want to throw shade at anybody, and I would never say no specific names. But I mean, yeah, like there's so, like, people could, I mean, I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but, I mean, they really, you can tell, and they're before the open mic, they're sending in their journals, like, 20 minutes, like, and then they do their set, like, I'm like, dude, I mean, like, I mean, you know your jokes. You know your jokes. I write a list of them. I just memorize the list before my set. You know what I mean? Like, if it's taking you that much effort to do that bad, I think I'm not, like, saying, you know,
you're better behind the camera.
I think you need to reconsider how you're approaching your craft.
There you go. Yeah, that's the advice.
Like, you really, like, I mean,
because the advice is never, it's not stop. It's not like you're not
funny.
It's
no.
Translate.
I want more comic. I want all the comics we can get. You know,
right.
I mean, we're starting open mic here at Monkey Dog now.
Monkey Mondays.
We're gonna be doing paid comedy shows in the banquet hall. So there's gonna be paid gigs available to the local scene. They own a building downtown. I'm likely going to open a club there that's going to do comedy and music and all kinds of stuff. So I want, like, and I'm, you know, it's like, this is not what I do for money. Like, I'm in a digital marketing agency. That's, you know, like, and I'm not saying, like, I don't want to make money. I'd love to get paid doing this. Yeah. But it's not, like, I'm not concerned about that yet. And I don't know if I ever will be. Like, if I never get paid, I'm fine with it. Like, I do it because I actually love doing it. Yeah. And I want to help the scene, and I want the scene to grow, and I want everyone to get better. And the only way we're going to get better is if we get more stage time. And
more legitimate shows, for sure.
And I think, you know, one thing I would like to do is break down joke structure. So if any comedians are watching this, and you don't understand joke structure, this will change your perspective.
Yeah, well, see, this might be a good area for us to actually pull off a project or something. I know we've talked about, like, doing something
that's so interesting you just said that, because I was just thinking we could do a joke structure podcast where we literally write jokes on the podcast.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Like, we just, like, maybe pull out of a bucket, like, a thing, and we show people how to write a joke, and then we laugh, and we have
just
fun.
A whole podcast based off of the bucket. I like it.
Yeah, it's a starting point. It's a starting point. I think we should play with it for sure, and I think it would help people a lot.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to bring up. I mean, I love your ambition. I think I have a lot of projects going on, but you got a ton of projects. The Two Dice Dare, thanks for having me on. Oldies but Goodies, your podcast.
Yep.
Monkey Mondays, you're starting a show Monday. So this podcast will come out day of. Come to Mucky Ducks. We're doing an open mic. You're trying to get this comedy club going downtown.
Yeah. So I'll break down all this stuff. So
you want to do more?
I have a pod, and I am going to do more. We're going to start our podcast. Like, dude, I want to do all the things, man. So my current podcast is called Oldies but Goodies, where I interview old people and get their wisdom and life experience to share with the world. My other channel concept is Two Dice Dare, where it's based off of the dice you get at the sex shop, where it's like one of them says like suck, lick, swallow, finger, whatever. And so we have two comics compete in a different competition based on the dice. So the one you and Darren did, it was one dice. Even though we drew out our hacks, we didn't have the dice yet. One dice was what kind of peppers you guys were going to eat and how many. And then me and Tyson Cox just did beer chugging. Didn't end up being as funny as I thought it might be, but there also wasn't like as many people as I was hoping some more comics would come out. Maybe some other people would get into it, but...
Yeah, I remember when I had that night, but I couldn't make it.
It's really not... Like, dude, you just... The key is just keep going. Like, keep learning. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So, I do have some fun ideas. I don't want to give too much information, but yeah, I got some fun stuff on Two Dice that are going to be coming up. And then Muckety Mondays, Mucky Duck Bar on the South Side. I'm starting an open mic there. I'm having Aisha Brown on the first page show at the banquet hall that we're going to be kind of using as a comedy club when they don't already have... Because they have like 40 events already booked for the rest of the year, so... Yeah. They have a lot of Fridays, Saturdays booked, so we're going to be doing some Thursdays, some Sundays, and then, once I prove to the owner that we're both going to make money doing this, then I think, I think we're going to, and I told him, I was like, dude, if you want, I'll just rent give me a monthly fee. I will rent the banquet hall every month. Like, I will just take it permanently. But, things take time. So we got that. The guy owns the building downtown where Taps and Dolls used to be, where Crackers used to be. He's given me a good deal on the first floor. I want to turn it into a bar 7 days a week. So it's right next door to Brothers. Bar 7 days a week. And I would like to have something called Lunch Break Laughs, where I have local comics come in during lunch hours, Monday through Friday, and get on stage and make people laugh that work downtown that come on their lunch break and eat lunch.
Yeah, I could walk there from work. That
cool.
would be sick.
Dude, well then you will be a regular.
Yeah.
And
I'd
then,
literally come most days.
Yeah.
For sure. Just to do like a 5-minute set at lunch, that would be so fun.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I don't know how many comics will be coming during lunchtime, so you can do way more than 5 minutes probably. But we'll see.
So, I mean, that's got to be a longer time.
Yeah, we might only be able to do like 1 or 2 days a week. You know what I mean? Because how many comics do we have that can come in? You know what I mean? Like, come in every day, dude. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of these people will probably get regulars, so a lot of these people will see all your stuff already. But, and then we'll do like big comedy shows on the weekends with like the big names like Cam Patterson, Duncan Trussell, who we saw. And then after the comedy shows, we're going to have a local live band on the stage. Planning on it, I don't want to say on, because if it does end up working out for whatever reason, I don't worry about, oh, he's a liar. Yeah, well, I'm doing what I can, guys. We're trying to make it happen. I got investors interested. Well, we're just going to see what happens. But live local bands come on stage after the comedy shows. So people stick around, keep drinking, and then after the comedy shows, the paid show's over. People walking by, see a live band, more people walk in. Yeah. I think this is a great way to make comedy clubs more profitable, or just profitable in general, because comedy clubs they're going out of business all over the country. And the main reason is they can only turn a profit when they're open, and they're only open a few hours, a few days a week. You know what I mean?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about, last night I went to the First Friday event. It was at the Harrison Center. And it was really cool to, convert an old church and school to art studios and an art gallery. So, First Friday of each month, they have an open house, sell art, and there's some drinks. And there was a jazz band. And while we were listening to the jazz band, I was joking with Mason and Annabelle and Araya, and I was like, you think they'll give me 5 minutes? And then literally 30 seconds later, they're like, all right, the jazz band's taking a break, and we have a comedian. And I feel bad.
That's awesome. Dude, that's so... See, dude, you do the same thing I do.
Well, no, it wasn't me. There was somebody that was supposed to go up. And I feel bad because the audio quality in the gym was so bad.
Yeah.
It was a hard just venue. But I had been thinking about how can we pair these First Friday events, because there's so many art studios that are doing it with comedy, because it's people that appreciate art. As much as artists can support other artists, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So
we need to be lifting each other up, man. That's dude, I can't stand these comics that fucking want to be negative or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, just haters and dude, why are we not lifting each other up? Like, if the higher I rise, the higher you all rise. The higher you rise, the higher you know what I mean? Like, we're in this together, guys. Like, I'm not gonna, like, if I became famous or you became famous, I don't think either of us, and we've only been friends a short period of time, I don't think either of us would blow the other one off. Like, I know if I would, I'd be like, dude, you're fucking featuring for me on my tour. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's the way to do it. Is just collect people as you come up to like build yourself around.
Yeah.
I don't know. Indiana, it definitely seems like we're starting to get a foothold for more of a art scene and comedy scene.
Yeah.
I feel like we could use another actual club. I mean, there's Helium Crackers. There's another one, isn't there? Is there another one?
I don't know of another one. I mean, there was like Gutties.
Isn't there a clean comedy club somewhere?
Well, they had Gutties. It's not here. I mean, I guess they have Happy Place now. But
I don't know.
I mean, like, I guess if we're talking like large scale, like, I think it's Crackers.
That place is dope.
You know, it is dope. As far as like comedy, like big hit comedy clubs, even Crackers. I wish Ruth Ann would invest in her acts a little more and get some bigger names, because you can sell the ticket. Like, if you have somebody like Duncan Trussell, say, I don't know how much it costs, but say it's $20,000 for the weekend, you're gonna sell $20,000 in tickets. Like, I mean, it's
you should be able to, for sure.
Well, I want any comedy club out there, if you're watching this, I guarantee I could sell the tickets for you. I own a digital marketing agency, and I'm going to be doing the marketing for my clubs, and and if you're having a difficult time selling tickets, there's things you can do to get better. Like, it really just kind of, everything just kind of met perfectly, like all the things I'm doing. I just happened to start a marketing agency, and it happened to be like the most beneficial thing that Monkey Duck could need for, you know what I mean? They're already a successful bar. Yeah. They already have a liquor license. They already have the servers. They already have the bartenders. But, they don't have the websites, the ticket sales, the marketing, you know what I mean? And that I take, so it's a perfect partnership. You know what I mean?
Nice.
You gotta invest in your business, and you gotta, but at the same time, I'm not talking shit about Ruth Ann and her club. I think it's great, and I hope they stick around forever, because I love, and that's the first, that's the reason I'm doing, like, Crackers, like, the reason I'm doing this is, I went to Crackers, and I was actually, I started my marketing agency beginning of last year, and I was like kind of getting bored of like selling websites and search engine optimization and Google ads and Facebook ads to businesses. I was like, dude, I can like do the same thing for entertainment. Like, I love music, I love comedy, so it's gonna like switch to entertainment and like manage artists and stuff, and kind of do the same things I already did with my knowledge of online presence.
I feel like I heard, somebody told me that you like signed a comedian or something.
Yeah. What was his fucking name?
What happened? What's that story? Is that still a thing?
No, he doesn't do comedy anymore, but that's actually my fault. So, I had a rough summer last summer.
Yeah.
And I also kind of realized, what is his name?
Yeah, we don't have to like dive
That's
into
all right.
it.
But no, I don't care.
Let me circle back to Happy Place, because it quickly became one of my favorite open mics. I was really sad that they didn't have their open mic today. But simply for the review aspect or feedback aspect of the show. There's generally no feedback at any of these open mics. It's just an opportunity to try and perform. But
Doug Arnold. His name's Doug Arnold. That's who I thought. Yeah. But I did realize I didn't. Sorry, I'm interrupting you, but I wanted to finish what I was saying. I was like, God, I love this too much. Because I was like, I created this whole like database of all these clubs and venues and event planners and stuff for the people that I would sign to get them gigs. And it was becoming like work. You know what I mean? And I was like, this is like my path. You know, I love this. And like, even when I'm writing a joke at home or writing my screenplay or on stage, it's not work, dude. I'm doing this because I like legitimately love doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I just stuck with doing business, and now it's like really blowing. It's blowing up big time. We're doing a lot of cool stuff, and I've been really fortunate. We just made some really cool partnerships with other companies. Yeah. So, but yeah.
Have you
Anyways,
ever seen Ted Lasso? You said something earlier, and it made me think of it. You ever seen Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
You remember the dart scene? Where he's talking about, like, you have to stay curious?
Dude, that's so funny you said that. Like, I said I went to the writing workshops?
Yeah.
I went to one of Zany's in Chicago, Zany's University.
Hell yeah.
And they literally played that clip.
Oh, really?
At the end of the fucking class.
That's awesome.
Where he throws the dart.
Yeah. You gotta stay curious.
So weird you said that.
Oh, yeah. If you're not curious, you just think you have it all figured out.
Yeah.
You're gonna be an asshole.
Yep.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm excited to go to Zany's. We're going to Zany's at some point, right?
Yeah, Zany's Nashville. We're going to be in the open mic February 19th. Then we're going to see David Jolly there February 20th.
And then we're
going to Go Bananas in Cincinnati.
Yeah, Go Bananas, which I'm also going to Go Bananas, I believe in March.
Nice.
Is that right?
I need to sign up for some Cincinnati. So I was thinking I was going to do... dude, we should do this. So, when we go to Bricky's, we should find an open mic the night before or night after in Cincinnati. Because we could, stay at my sister's house in Dayton if it was the day before, then go to Cincinnati or, backwards.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm definitely down.
Cool.
I want to hit a bunch. I mean, you get after it. You said you did 4 states over the past 2 weeks, if that.
Yep, I did open mics in 4 different states in the past 2 weeks. Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and Illinois.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
How long do you think you have? If some of those
material?
Yeah.
I could feature.
You could
it's
hour?
Pushing it a little bit. No, headlines an hour. I could do a half hour. Did you say half hour?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like you can headline with 45 minutes. Is that wrong?
I mean, you might be able to. I mean, I think you could look okay. So this is one thing that does piss me off about everybody's. And so there was somebody. So I was at when I was talking to somebody about if Duncan Truss was doing a meet and greet, because me and you were planning on doing the bet I did with Cam and going to try and maybe get a few minutes on stage with him this weekend. And there's a local comic, and I don't not like the guy, and I do like the guy, and he's a very funny guy. But one thing that I would like him to open his mind about is, he's it just doesn't work that way. And it's okay, says who?
Yeah, it does work that way.
No, it does work that way because... I made it work that, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying I'm anything, guys, and this is, so I got this concept, I became this way from when I started a logistics company in my 20s, and all these other logistics companies are doing things their own ways, and there's, the one term I hate is industry standard.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck industry standard, dude. You can literally, you own the company. You can run it however the hell you want, dude. So I'm actually, I don't care. It may work, it might not work, so I don't want people to be oh, what a stupid idea if it doesn't. I don't care, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna innovate comedy clubs. And so one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put comedians on a tier system. So there's gonna be tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Depending on the tier, depends on how much you get paid. And you get paid percentage of the ticket sales. And the reason I'm doing this is because it encourages the comics to promote the shows and sell more tickets. So they're going to be posting more about the show. They're going to be reaching out to people in wherever the comic club is.
That's what supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, headliners are
yeah. So I'm sure I'll have comics come in and whatever their base rate I'll pay. But I am going to do I have a little bit of an idea. Like the opener for tier 1, the opener would get 2.5% of ticket sales.
2.5?
2.5%. Feature get 5% of ticket sales. Headliner get 10% of ticket sales. Then tier 2, opener gets 5% of ticket sales. Feature gets 10% of ticket sales. Headliner gets 20% of ticket sales. And then tier 3 goes 10, 20, 30. And it might even be more than that. I'm just this is just and I don't have
of alcohol.
Well, yeah, I don't. Maybe that too. Yeah, I don't care, dude. I'm not a selfish person. I want them to be motivated to promote the show. That's basically why I'm doing it, and I want them to have the ability to make more money too. So it's a win-win, And I think there should be a minimum. If we don't sell this many tickets, that's on us. So we guarantee you'll get this much. Say the minimum's 1,000. You're going to get $1,000 minimum or 5%. You know what I mean?
I think most headliners, they're not getting a base fee from the venue. They're renting the venue and making the ticket sales.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think
so
often people who are starting out or not quite at the arena size.
Oh, okay. Well, I was under the understanding themed shows where they were renting the space. So a headliner Cam Patterson, he's this is my rate. It's say $25,000 a month or something. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's how. Maybe, but I assume.
Oh, okay. I could be wrong.
I'd assume Cam's making the ticket sales, or at least a high percentage.
I mean, he's not renting out helium, and he's not selling the tickets.
Most of this I'm basing off of listening to old.
Well, I know he's not doing that because I know his agent or his manager. So.
He's getting a flat fee.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I feel like that's capping yourself almost.
I could be wrong. Maybe I don't know.
Okay,
I don't want to put false thing. Maybe I misunderstood or maybe
I feel like you would make more money if
maybe I'm thinking of something else. So yeah, if maybe they already do. But I know. So there's this guy. I met a comic up in Chicago. He's been doing 17 years. Me and him connected, and we're partnering on a themed show he does. So we're gonna do a 50-50 partnership. So that's another thing I'm doing. So his name's Steven Springer. He's got a themed show called Jailed, Jailers, and Jokesters. And the comedians are all ex-cons or ex-correction officers. And so he's a ex-correction officer. And and the reason we ended up connecting that class was about your intro, you tell the MC what they want. I was like, Kevin Hearthstone, he's an ex-convict, recovering addict, and a successful businessman. And he's like, you're an ex-convict? I got this. So we're going to be bringing that show down to Muckety.
Cool.
And so, yeah, I guess what I'm getting at is that I know we're renting, it's called Riddles in Alsip, Illinois. It's $200. And then we get the door, so we pay them $200. We sell the tickets,
nice,
and we get to keep the door.
So what, you gonna run targeted ads or anything? Or
yeah. I'm gonna at least invest a couple $100 in some Facebook ads, shit like that. I need to do it's not something I've done before as ticket sales, but I do have. And I'm not the tech guy. I'm just the founder and sales guy. Really, I got tech wizards that do all of this stuff, but they really understand online presence and how to do. So yeah, and they're really good at PPC, which is pay-per-click advertising. So like that's your Google ads, your Facebook. So yeah, I'm gonna test the waters and see how it goes. If it doesn't pay off, like I might tweak it a little bit. But I think it depends on the show, depends on the audience, depends on the area, and everyone will be different. But yeah, we'll definitely. I mean, I'll sell the tickets either way. Yeah, I'll find a way.
I think my upcoming strategy as we begin to as I begin to travel and do more shows is really taking the best stuff I have to other cities and states. But then when I'm back here in Indy, always try new stuff. I'm going to Crackers this week. Come out to Crackers for some new material that hasn't been posted or set at a club before. But is that the set I'm going to take to Nashville? Maybe not. Probably not. I don't know. I love, trying new stuff.
Yeah.
Getting after it.
Dude, yeah. That's actually... So, I remember... So, back to the very beginning of this episode. First night I saw you, I was like, dude, I gotta fucking talk to this dude. He's fucking hilarious. And actually, it took... I knew you for a few weeks before I found out you're just doing this since October. I thought you were doing this like a year or two. And we've compared notes on each other's phones and how much... And we've written about this. I mean, yeah, we both... and it's not that we're better than anybody. We are not. But we do put effort into our craft.
For sure.
And one thing I do, I think, if there are comedians that watch this, I think, if you don't understand joke structure, I can break it down really easily. So, your setup, you're introducing your subject. And you are causing the audience to think about one thing. And then your punchline, you're flipping the script.
Yeah.
And they're thinking one thing, now they're thinking another thing. And
right.
That's why it's funny.
Yeah, you're playing with all of their assumptions.
Yes. So I got two perfect examples that will help people understand this perfectly. In the book, the joke is... that helps you understand joke structure. I just went through a divorce and I got a sex change. I went from barely having sex at all to not having sex at all. Or something. It's like, to having sex once a week to not having sex at all or something like that. And then I think I define it really good because I did one open mic. So I have been doing this I'm on my third month. I started early December last year. But I did do one open mic last April. And I told this joke that a lot of people have heard in the scene. But it was before I understood joke structure. And it bombed. There was one laugh, but it was the fucking girl I was dating. And so it went, so me and my parents lived in them the other day. Nobody's around. So I start jacking off. I look over. I got this huge mural of my dead grandparents on the wall. I still came. And I thought that was funny to me. I thought, and then I understood joke structure, and I flipped the script. And so, me and my parents lived room the other day. Nobody's around, so I decided to play a little game of tug of war with my pelvis. I look over. I got this huge picture of my dead grandparents on the wall. Ruined my whole day. Took me forever to clean that picture up. And it's dark. I know it's not for everybody. If his parents are watching this, I'm sorry. I'm not a bad person. It's a joke. I don't do that. But, that's just my comedy. Nobody has... And the reason I'm telling that is because anybody can understand that. You think, you're talking about one thing and that's what I try to do with every joke. And that's what we should do our podcast, man.
To be much more of a blind side. That could be cool. I think, one idea I had was, I talked to a couple of friends about this, and we debate if it's a good idea or not, but, hosting an open mic and then calling it like, I don't know, the comic review or something, but record an open mic and then record us reviewing the open mic and make that the podcast. Like, essentially talk about people's bits, what we like, what we didn't like, and like how we see that they could improve.
I mean, it's a cool concept, but the only thing is, like, open mics is newer jokes that you're tweaking,
Right.
So you're not going to be able to say much about, because they're not going to want that content out there, you know what I mean?
Right, that's the thing, is like, we're asking people to give up a lot of their content, and we are, I don't know, suggesting that we're better or know more or can improve it, which I'm a confident person. There's many times where I think I could help a joke, but that comes with, like, I don't know, I probably come off as pretty pretentious and egotistical.
I don't think so at all.
That's good.
No, dude, you're a humble guy. And I mean, look, there's a difference between confidence and ego.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can be confident and believe in yourself, and, you know, but that doesn't mean, like, you're, like, some big-headed asshole. I used to be the big-headed asshole. I thought I was the shit. You know, cool Ferrari, felt like, boo, you know, like, I thought it was all about having all the stuff and having the biggest house, the coolest car. And then, you know, when you get that stuff, dude, like, you find out really quickly that shit, like, you don't give a fuck about it. Like, like, within a couple weeks.
I'm not a materialistic person. Yeah. I really am not. I feel like I've had a lot.
Yeah. And so life is about experiences. So, you know, travel the world, do all the things, go to music festivals.
Experiences? I'm willing to pay for experiences, though. I love.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's my point. Yeah. Don't go, if you have $1 million, don't go buy a Ferrari. Travel the entire world. Like, do all the things.
Okay, the last thing I wanted to ask about, because we're at like $1.15 right now. You're a big manifestation person. I'm a big manifestation person, and you seem to execute it very well. I believe in manifestation. Does your faith in the manifesting process parallel at all with any sort of religion? Are you a religious person? Do you see yourself as very spiritual?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely am a spiritual person. I have my own religion.
You have your own religion?
Yeah.
Are you like leading a cult or something?
Well, it's kind of
cool.
I told you about this. Okay, dude, yeah, remember after Cam's show? Mother, the DMT.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was raised Mormon, and I always look. I don't care. Like, personally, you know, it just wasn't for me. But I always been very curious about, you know, higher power. And I read I've read the Quran. I've read the Bible. I've read the Book of Mormon. I've done all the reading. I've gone to so many churches. I've talked to so many people, and I never once got an answer that satisfied me.
Yeah.
And then
probably won't ever get that.
No, I already got that. So I've experimented with psychedelics, and I look at it as a medicine and not a drug. And this was just last year, actually. And I started listening to podcasts about UFOs. And I was just it just made me so freaking curious, dude. So curious. So one day I was just sitting in the kitchen, and I just started talking to them. I was like, look, UFO, like, please abduct me. Like, I just want to know all the stuff. Like, please, like, just tell me. Like, teach me. Like, I just want to know. I want to know. Like, I just want to know more.
What the Matrix say.
And it wasn't like 2 days later that I listened to another podcast, and I forget the guy's name, but he discovered this experiment where if you smoke DMT, and you put a laser, so like a laser light, a barcode scanner, on any surface, you will see code. And that really intrigued me and got me thinking about the simulation theory. So I did it, and you see code, and so then I started so like I remembered like when I was like really young, and they were teaching us like how to pray, and they were like, God is not Santa Claus. Like, you don't pray and ask for everything you want. You know what I mean? Like, it's just about a relationship. And I was like, you know what? There might actually be something there. So I do, I guess you could call, I don't really say pray, but I do pray every night to my higher power. I call her mother, which I was convinced that I was right in calling her mother after Joe Dispenza started mentioning it, mother, on his guided manifestation meditations on YouTube. And so it actually started off, I was like, well, I shouldn't ask for anything. Just let's not be greedy. And I remember, like, it was hard. I was like, let's just every night just speak to, and so, like, you know, and once I, like, saw the code,
to the universe.
Once I saw the code and I understood, like, so this is what I know personally, and I don't care if anybody believes me, I'm not trying to convince anybody. But I knew from my experience in life that this is simulation theory type thing, and yes, we did create it, and if we're able to create a reality like this, a code that can do all these things, that means we can create anything, and we pretty much know everything. And life gets pretty boring when you know everything and you can do anything. So we started writing these codes. We're not here to test anything. We're not here to prove anything. We are here to experience. We're here to suffer, learn, grow. And so all those things, my life experiences, and I connected those once I saw the code. I was like, oh, that's why we're here. So I got this, like, I would like to know what the UFOs are, but, like, I just don't even care. Like, I know, like, because I know I'm going to remember after this life. Like, I mean, because we are a part of that. So, like, whatever it is, like, I'll know all the stuff then. Like, I'm here now because I chose to be here now to experience what is happening now. So, anyways, finish up. Every night, I just say what I'm grateful for. I literally think, I was going through a depression, too, at the time. I think I could only say, and I started first saying, Dear Universe, and then I said, Dear Creators, and now it's Dear Mother, and then I don't hear, she doesn't talk to me, but, like, I'll ask questions, and, like, I will get confirmed things somehow, like, I'll see something, or, and so I just say what I'm grateful for. Every night I say, Dear Mother, I'm grateful. The rest, grateful for this. Thank you. That's it. That's what I do that every night, dude. Literally every day I have different things I'm grateful for, and it just gets better and better.
Yeah, it sounds very therapeutic.
Yeah. So I just, I am just, gratitude is. You will, if you learn to be grateful for what you have, I promise you will get so much more.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a quote out there that goes something along the lines of, like, optimism is only sustainable through gratitude.
Yeah.
Like, you can only be happy if you have so many things that you're, like, crediting for your happiness. I mean, we're so much bigger than ourselves that if we, like, tunnel ourselves into a selfish hole, it just gets depressing, and you lose that wide perspective of why the world's so good.
Yeah. Oh, did I say that? So, like, I think I had one thing this is the only thing I could think of. I couldn't think of being grateful or anything. I was grateful that I wasn't blind. That was my first grade. And, like, dude,
that's
literally
amazing.
Every day since then, dude, I am grateful for something new.
Technically, I'm legally blind, so maybe I'll start somewhere else.
I'm grateful for something new every day. I mean, it's just like, and that is one thing, like, the daily must-dos has been a game changer, but the daily gratitudes, like, it's been, that has, like...
Dude, I got friends that, like, text each other, like, what they're grateful for each day.
That's so cool.
And it's, like, such a nice thing. My lights are going out. These are chargeable ones. It's getting real dim. All right, well, you want to
wrap it up.
Wrap up. It's been a great podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, dude.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Any kind of links or, I mean, you got Monkey Mondays coming up at 7:30.
Yeah, Monkey D Mondays. Sign-ups at 7:30 on Monday starting February 10th. But every Monday after that. But if you're not a comic, just come in. Show starts at 8. Free comedy. Have drinks. Have some laughs with us. And tip your bartenders and servers, please.
Hell yeah.
And so Kevin Hearthstone, I would say I'll give you all the links to my stuff. If anybody owns a business or has something in trouble with their online presence, social media is not what I specialize in, but I can do anything else online presence. The Full Measure Digital Marketing. I got 2 Dice Dare on YouTube, Oldies but Goodies on YouTube. And Kevin Hearthstone, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. So if you just follow me on that, you can find all my stuff. So
sweet. Yeah, I'll definitely be at Muckety Mondays this upcoming Monday when this comes out. And then this week I'll be also at Crackers for their comedy show. I believe that's Thursday the 13th. So come out to Crackers. Come watch the show. evanham.com or evanhammons.com. I purchased them both because I couldn't make up my mind. All right. All right, let's do the intro. All right, you ready?
Oh, okay.
All right. Welcome back to the Friends with Differences podcast. Kevin Hearthstone, thank you for coming on. Really a fun episode. Yeah.
Thank you for having me, dude. This was a blast. No, we cover a wide spectrum of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a wider perspective after talking. All right, just for the people, we brought up, I mean, we got a bunch of shows going on, the comedy scene. What else did we get to talk about?
So the open mic Mondays at Mucky Duck. We talked about
your different shows. You got the 2 Dice.
Yeah, I got 2 Dice Dare.
We talked about a lot about like manifesting and religion.
Manifesting, gratitude, building the comedy scene, supporting each other, believing in each other, and always growing, learning and growing. That is why we are here, to continue growing.
Is this becoming a self-help podcast? It just might be. Well, thank you again for coming on.
Cool.
And enjoy the episode.